Welcome back, Nerd Squad. My name is itõs, and this is Top 10 Nerd. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is out now across the globe, and it's left quite the impression on audiences returning and audiences anew, because nothing draws people in like raging dinos threatening humanity. Now, if you're new to the Jurassic Park franchise, or perhaps need a bit of a refresher or want to learn something new, we decided to put together a little history about the park and how all of this came to be, plus the possibility of maybe having our own Jurassic Park someday. This video will also not contain any spoilers, so let's get started. We begin with a young biology student, Michael Crichton. Michael was studying bio in order to become a medical doctor, but he grew fascinated with the world of biotech and how technology could become so advanced the only limit was the imagination. Fun fact about him is when he suspected a professor of giving him low marks on purpose, he submitted an essay written by author George Orwell and received it back as a B-. Smart kid, guess he caught that professor there. But rather than become a doctor, he became a writer, penning cautionary tales of what happens when technology is taken too far, and one of his most famous creations was his 1990 novel Jurassic Park. The idea of Jurassic Park came in 1983 as a screenplay from a couple of places. First off, Michael wanted to use a theme park like that in his film Westworld, and secondly, he had an idea of a dino being cloned from fossil DNA. His main character was originally a young boy, but critics were highly against this, so he switched to an adult point of view. He reasoned the theme park idea would be the only way dinos would really be recreated, as it would be far too expensive to do it for any purpose other than entertainment. So the groundwork was laid by the novel, and then Steven Spielberg came along. As a kid, he was enamored with the world of the dinosaur, and thought that the book would be the perfect thing to adapt to the big screen. Something more mature than your usual children's fun dino romp. He wasn't the only one to think this, apparently. Jurassic Park was locked in a bidding war for the rights between Columbia Pictures, Warner Bros., 20th Century Fox, and Universal. Universal ultimately won with Amblin Entertainment's backing, and the movie was made.
Of the screen displaying the appropriate icon.
Are we gonna hit that?
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
What do they got in there, King Kong?
Bringing these creatures to life on screen visually and audibly was a challenge, but one that Spielberg was excited to try out. After all, if they failed at making the dinosaurs, there would kinda be no movie. Stan Winston of Aliens put together large form models, including a 20-foot T-Rex, while Phil Tippett from RoboCop worked on the stop motion animation. But it wasn't until Dennis Muren brought up CGI and gave a demonstration that the movie felt real. His computerized wireframes were beyond their time. As for the sounds, everything was conducted from real-life animals. Modified of course, but real nonetheless. Whole dino vocabularies were constructed from distorted sounds. One major example is that the raptors were voiced by walruses and dolphins for their attack cries. So now in terms of the movie's plot, why did the park exist at all? Well, a company called International Genetic Technologies, InGen, discovered that it could extract DNA from mosquitoes that were trapped in amber. These bugs would suck blood back in the Mesozoic era, get crystallized and preserved in the goop, and would last all the way until they fell into the hands of researchers of modern day. The blood would be drawn out, the DNA extracted, and the dinosaur cloned from the sequencing. With some fill-in from frog DNA, of course. Sounds like something that could really happen in real life, right? I mean, we've already cloned a sheep, and we are now working on stuff such as growing our own meat from stem cells. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, this would never happen. DNA has a half-life of about 521 years, which means after this many years, the bonds in it have broken down to the midway point and the DNA is no longer readable. After 60+ million years of extinction, dino DNA is long gone and degraded. Even if they were preserved as best as possible, if there were people back then to start the preservation, in the cold and away from any microorganisms, the max estimate for DNA to live has been 1.5 million years. So if you see tales of scientists bringing dinos back to life, double check because it is most likely a hoax. So Jurassic Park will never happen, and that's probably a good thing. Those of you who are upset about this, did you guys not watch the movies at all? They call them cautionary tales for a reason. That's all for today, kids. Let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of the movie. My name is itõs, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another nerdy video.